Hey everyone, it's Martin again. So today, hindi tayo magbe-bake. We are gonna be doing some cooking with Chingolo meats. So the first thing that we are gonna be cooking is some beef ragu with pappardelle. Now, pappardelle is a kind of pasta. It's thin, like a linguine or fettuccine, but it's like 3 times wider than. And beef ragu is basically like a stew, low and slow cooking until it's all soft and tender. Oils are coming out and all the flavors are well developed and combined. So for just to be able to make the ragu quickly, we are going to be using a pressure cooker. To start things off, we are going to brown the beef on all sides. From there, we are going to add our garlic, tomatoes, bay leaves, carrots, thyme, and a bit of a broth. So after cooking and checking, remove the thyme stems and using 2 forks or whatever you have like tongs, just shred the beef. You're gonna be simmering it uncovered for like 5 more minutes until the soup becomes thick enough to be able to stick to pasta. Plate your cooked pappardelle pasta and top it with some ragu. You can finish it off with some fresh parmesan and some more olive oil. So we're done with the beef ragu with pappardelle. Next up is beef rendang. So first, we'll be making the paste, the rendang paste, by combining all of the ingredients in a food processor. We're just chopping them up finely and then crushing them with a mortar and pestle. Next, just transfer everything into a large pot. Add in your beef, brown on all sides until it has a good color. Add your water followed by your coconut milk. Now you're gonna bring it to a boil and then bring your heat down to low. Simmer for around 50 minutes. Next, you can add your grated coconut, kaffir leaves or like curry leaves if you don't have it, some lime juice, salt, and sugar. Now we are gonna simmer that for another 10 minutes and your dish is good to go. So next up is the Korean short ribs or galbijim. So in a pot, just combine your ribs, your onions, ginger, garlic, and scallions. We are gonna bring that to a boil, but then bring your heat to low, and we are gonna be doing that for just 10 minutes. After that, we are gonna strain everything and set the ribs aside. Next, we're just gonna mix all the braising ingredients together. Next, we'll add the beef and the strained stock. If it's not enough to cover the beef by an inch, you may add more broth. If you're using a pressure cooker, this is just gonna take around 30 minutes. But if you wanna cook it old school style, stovetop, it's gonna take you an hour to 1 hour and a half. After that, you will add your pepper, shiitake, and carrots. Simmer it for an additional 15 minutes. Top with your chopped scallions and then sesame oil. We're done with the Korean short ribs. Now it's time for something that's closer to home, which is Kaldereta Sulipan. So in a pressure cooker or heavy saucepan, just combine your brisket, peppercorn, and bay leaves. Add your water and bring to a boil and simmer for 30 minutes. While that's happening in a large wok with hot oil, just saute your onions and garlic, add your liver spread, and crushed tomatoes. Simmer for 5 minutes or until thick, and then add your tomato paste. Simmer for another minute. After that, you will just add your tender beef and the broth from the pressure cooker or pot, around half a cup. Simmer for 5 minutes until your sauce is thickened again. This time you will add your olives and bell peppers. Followed by your cheese, little by little while stirring so that you don't have like blobs of cheese. Add your brandy and simmer for 5 minutes and you're done. Now it's time for the Thai steak salad. We're just gonna sear our flanks. So first, we're gonna pat it dry. Season both sides with salt and pepper. In a very hot cast iron skillet, we are gonna add some olive oil and sear both sides of our steak for 3 minutes on each side. We'll set that aside to rest and then prepare our Thai-style dressing by crushing some garlic, pepper flakes, and the chili into a paste using a mortar and pestle or food processor if you have one. Next up, we'll add our sugar, fish sauce, and lime juice. Just mix it together until your sugar is dissolved. You can assemble the dish by combining the onions, tomatoes, basil, and mint in a bowl. Just pour some of the dressing and leave some to serve on the side, and top it with your sliced flank. As for our last recipe, super easy to make, very low maintenance. It's the sheet Pan Fajitas. First, just combine all of your marinade ingredients and add half of that to the beef. We're gonna let it marinate for at least 3 hours, turning every hour or like halfway through. Remove steaks from the marinade, try to pat it dry, and arrange them in a baking sheet. Broil for 4 minutes or until the top has charred. Flip and broil for another minute and you're done. Just transfer it and let it rest. Combine our bell peppers and onions and pour the remaining marinade into the veggie mixture. Coat evenly, and then we are gonna arrange that in the same baking sheet that we used for the flank. And then we are gonna roast them for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Once the steak has rested, we're just gonna slice them thinly, then put it on top of the veggies, including all the beef juices, and cook them in the oven for around 2 to 3 more minutes. And after that, you can just serve it with tortillas, guacamole, pico de gallo, and sour cream if you want.